Hello everyone, my name is Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is January 9th, 2025. And yes, I do expect a bounce from here. I do expect Bitcoin to bounce to 99K or thereabouts. And I expect all of that to happen within the next 24 hours. I also expect a bounce in altcoins, okay? I expect a bounce in the whole entire cryptocurrency space, but it's not going to be the move that many think it's going to be, because what comes on Friday is going to be a massive sell-off to the downside. So I'm going to talk about all of that and more. So please stay tuned until the very end. Let's get right into it. Bitcoin on the hourly time frame. And this is something we've been tracking. And like I said in yesterday's video, there was a support level here, okay? And that seems to have been tested, but now the liquidity has been captured where the ultimate support is in this move, right? And the ultimate support is the base of this 19-day purple channel. Let me zoom out so you can see it, okay? That was our previous B wave of our Elliot wave zigzag. And the top of this multi-year channel that Bitcoin's been in for multiple years. This is temporary support. It's not that complicated of a read, okay? And so if we look at Bitcoin's trajectory from this 102 top, right? 102K all the way down here. It's taken approximately one day and 17 hours, right? And that's what we should expect on the way up, okay? Thus far, we've put in 21 hours, okay? So if we extrapolate 1 day, 17 hours, it should take us to Friday morning, okay? Friday morning should be when we should be our final cutoff. We could get to 99K earlier than that, but Friday morning thereabout should be where we should expect at the very latest to be at that level of 99K, retesting the top of this 19-day channel, okay? So this is still what I'm expecting. This is still quite clear. And, this is relatively simple in terms of just looking at the price action. It's a basic impulse and subsequent three-wave correction, right? So when you talk about wave one, Elliot wave, right? It's an impulse. It comes down. What's impulsive? Impulsive means it just keeps going in the same direction, and it seemingly has very little to no corrections in the opposite direction, right? That's exactly what we saw here, okay? That's the definition of an impulse. And then what comes after that, after the first impulse, what we call wave one, is wave two. Wave two is characterized by a sharp correction that comes to between, on average, the 0.5 to 0.618 Fibonacci retracement of wave one. So that is what we're expecting, okay? Given that it's Bitcoin, given that it's a really bullish asset, it's the king of all cryptocurrencies, it typically retraces hard. Meaning, when it has a bullish retracement, that bullish retracement tends to go the distance. So that's why I'm expecting 99. So you can see here, 1, 2, 3, three-wave, sharp correction, up back to the 0.618. And the 0.618 is at 98,895, I think that says. Let me just zoom in. Can't really see it. 98,695. But I do expect to wick above that and just touch 99K. So I think 99K is very highly probable for this retracement. And again, it's within the time frame that I said, only because there's a principle in technical analysis in Elliott wave theory that states that the first Elliott wave theory shares the same amount of time of matriculation, more or less, as the second, right? That's the time component, the time relation in wave one and wave two of an Elliott wave impulse. So that's what I'm expecting, and that's still on the board. So in this time, I do expect a bounce also in altcoins, like I said yesterday. Yeah. So this is where we look at the Bitcoin dominance chart and we see, as I've been showing, that Bitcoin dominance seems to be at some sort of resistance. It's not the hardest resistance in the world, but this looks to be some sort of bearish reversal pattern that broke down. This came back to retest, and this to me looks like some sort of distribution pattern, right? A distribution pattern in Wyckoff analysis is a pattern that consolidates to go down. So I'm looking at this as being a break of structure, counter, break of structure, counter, and probably another break of structure and a counter, right? So that is where you get altcoins besting Bitcoin, altcoins gaining against Bitcoin in market cap. And some altcoins will do just that, okay? Not all, but some, right? And again, I will repeat, the altcoins that have already run, right, that are already at major resistances, I don't expect much from them, right? This chart looks extremely bearish. If it doesn't to you, I don't know what you're looking at, but Cardano is one such altcoin that you shouldn't expect much from it. You should expect some sort of meager, humble wave 2 retracement of this price action right here, but that's about it, right? Same for Ethereum. I don't expect too much from it, except that it comes back up a little bit and then it continues to go down, right? Same thing with HBAR, right? This is run. So when it goes up, don't expect it to go up much. Conversely, you look at a VRA closer to support. Looks like it may go higher, right? You look at a balancer closer to support, may go much higher. Look at a Litecoin closer to support, may go much higher. That's been my thesis, and this is kind of the idea of what I'm looking at and why it makes sense that you would get Bitcoin dominance making a move down from this level. You don't really get Bitcoin dominance making a move down from this level if some altcoins aren't going to greatly outperform Bitcoin during that wave 2 retracement. It doesn't make sense. This only makes sense, and this is likely to happen. If this is going to happen, it only makes sense if there are assets like Balancer, like Litecoin, like DYDX, like VRA that are going to go up more significantly than Bitcoin does, than Ethereum does, than Cardano does in this small period of time. Now, it's not that, we're talking about scalps, we're talking about small moves. The most important thing in all of this is if you're in a long, or if you're already, you haven't taken profit yet, this is literally your last chance. So for those of you asking, hey, is it going to go? Is it going to go? Is it going to go? I'm guessing, I venture my guess to say that you're probably trapped, right, in a move, and you're looking to get out. And I think you will have your chance to get out. This is where you get out, right? You wait for that move and you get out. Because what comes next, you won't be able to get out of. You won't be able to get out of. And unless you have a crazy amount of margin to add to your longs. And even if it's a spot, you're pretty much done. You just leave it. There's no, buying, selling and buying. No, you're not going to sell this. And I don't talk about news much on this channel because, I'm a technical analysis guy, and I think that gives everything, it's all encompassing. But I will mention that the US government selling Bitcoin is a thing, right? So think about this. Typically, Michael Saylor, we champion him as patron saint of crypto. He makes buys of a few $100 million, all right? And we're like, wow. The biggest buy he's ever made, I think, was like $1 billion when we were around the 50s. $1 billion, right? From the Silk Road, era, the U.S. government, they confiscated about a total of $6.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. They're selling that back, right? They got the okay from the judge to sell that back onto the market. That coincides, this hasn't yet been done, But I wouldn't be surprised if that happened tomorrow. Because look at this. Tomorrow, you get this move that's very likely going all the way down to 75K thereabouts. That's a 25% dump. And it's just a flash dump. That's a wave 3, boom, strong dump. I would not be surprised if that coincides with that sale of Bitcoin tomorrow by the US government. 6.5 billion. Think about that. 6.5 billion. 6.5 billion isn't 1 billion. Michael Saylor typically buys a few hundred million. And we see the effects of that on the market, right? You see the pumps. You see the moves to the upside. And again, when he buys big, he buys $1 billion. We see those moves. 6.5 billion is significantly larger than anything Michael Saylor's ever purchased. So the effect of that on the market, you should be able to see, and it only makes sense if that happened here and here. That makes sense. It makes all the sense in the world. So I think it's just, it's in the charts, but it just coincides with the news, okay? And if you want to look that story up, you're more than welcome to, but you can see, I don't think they've sold it yet because the balance sheet, right, shows that they still have the Bitcoin on the wallet, in the wallet. So, it's not yet, but it's coming, okay? So I think that goes and happens tomorrow, and probably you see the effects of that Friday afternoon, late, and then in pre-market on Sunday evening, maybe, right? So that's what I'm seeing. I really think that once we hit that 99 level, it should be about de-risking. It should be about selling anything that you want to sell into strength of. Not everything makes sense to sell, because some altcoins will have moved enough where their retracement's going to be marginal. May not make sense to make a sell. But this is kind of like where you sell everything and you buy back. But that buyback isn't going to be easy because, like I said, it's more likely than not what you see early next week is a big wick once it hits that level. So it's going to be a little tricky to buy those levels unless you're limit buying, and even then, who knows if they catch. So that's why I'm saying not everything is meant to be sold once we get to 99K. It really depends on your personal circumstances and what you're in. But that being said, that's pretty much all I have, guys. Nothing's really changed. The idea of Bitcoin bouncing is not, special or crazy or anything like that. It's just what happens when you get an impulse. You get a wave 2. You don't get wave 1 without wave 2. You always get a wave 2. Nothing goes in a straight line. This wave 2 is on the charts. It's very likely to happen. You can look at all your indicators on the 4-hourly time frame. You got a strong bullish divergence already confirmed, right? Lower low on the market. Let's make this stochastic RSI momentum indicator a little bigger. Let me try to do that. Bear with me a second. So lower low on the charts. And here you are about to get, it's not yet confirmed. Once these K and D lines cross in the next 4 hours, or no, in the next 57 minutes, you're likely to get a confirmed bullish divergence on the 4-hourly time frame for Bitcoin. And that should be an indication of what you're going to get. But I mean, indicators aside, it's just, it's basic. It's basic Elliot wave. And this is likely to happen. And again, remember the psychology of wave 2. The psychology of wave 2 is such that not everybody understands that this is the beginning of a 5-wave thing. Not everybody understands what this is. They may think it's an isolated event. They don't know that it's 1 of 5 and this is 2 of 5, right? So if they think this is 1 of 5, they think you should buy the dip, because what comes next is a big move, not just a small retracement to next resistance, it's a big move into the bull market. So that is the psychology of wave 2, because not all the market participants recognize the initial wave. I've talked about this before, and this is Elliot wave psychology. Why you get wave 2, why you get wave 3, why you get wave 4. There are reasons, right? Remember, all of this technical analysis stuff, the basis of it is in market participants' psychology. And that psychology is based, generally speaking, in two emotions of greed and fear. And that's pretty much it. So that's what I'm seeing. Hope this was helpful. Hope this was useful. Like, share, and subscribe. If you got value, consider tipping me by Venmo, Cash App, or sending me Litecoin. I really do appreciate all the tips, but the best tips are either from Venmo, Litecoin, or Cash App. Buy me a coffee is best if you're looking to take part in my crypto portfolio consultation service, which helps you prepare for the bull market and gets you ready by balancing your portfolio of up to 5 assets and making sure you get good buys and sells for those assets per month, 1 to 2 hours, one-on-one with me. So that is all at the pinned comment below. And don't forget, get free money. My partner KCEX still has a promotion where they're giving away up to $1,000 in bonus funds for you to trade with. So let's say you think Bitcoin's going to go up to 99K and you think I'm correct, then you just trade long and you use the money that they give you for signing up to $1,000. I think they give you, like, just for registering, like $300 or something like that you can use immediately to trade. Okay, and then it's up to $1,000 if you do, other steps, like you link your Twitter, do whatever. They have certain things, but they're an up and coming exchange, and they're being really generous with these bonuses. So I mean, take advantage of it. This is one of the things that is particular in our industry in crypto. Like, there's a lot of ways to make money, and there are a lot of opportunities for free money, if you want to call it, like promotional money. We may not see these kinds of promotion in the next cycle. So take advantage of it. All you have to do is sign up with my link at the pinned comment below, get your $1,000, do whatever you want with it, or a few $100s depending on your region. I think it's region specific how much money they give you. And a big trade would be going short from here. That is crazy. And remember, if you do that, let's say you do sign up, right, for KCEX, you get your bonus funds and you go short on there. I mean, like, depending on what leverage you use, that's a lot of free money. So, right. Thank you for those of you who have signed up. I do appreciate it. I obviously do get remunerated with referral sort of bonuses for people that I refer to this exchange. All right, that's it for me. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye.